Hello, everybody. Matt Check, PGA Teaching Pro here. Let's dive into some quick tips for the driver, for the irons, and then we'll look at some chipping later. What I see with driver is the same setup as irons all the time, and it is a little bit different setup. So, how can we kind of narrow this setup down and look at the driver different than an iron? A good way of thinking about it is when you see great drivers of the golf ball, the tee doesn't necessarily ever break. I have a wooden tee here, and I want to see my players sweep that ball off the tee. I don't want to see them hit down and breaking tees. So when you set up with a driver, when we get set up here to hit it, it's important to me that if your right arm or your trail arm hangs, it's just outside this thigh. You'll see later as I hit an iron that I'd be more on top of the ball and that trail arm would be on the thigh. So let's go ahead and set up and make sure that we're in a position to launch it high without hitting down on it. And that's what we want to work on with the driver. Now, if once you get these things set up wise and you're still spraying the driver, well, there's got to be a stall out in there somewhere for the most part. So let's make sure that when we hit every shot, that everything's moving together, connected, and there's not this moment in time at impact or just after that this back leg kind of the foot stops or the hip stop or the club goes without everything moving together. That would mean you're over swinging or some point in time during your swing, you're getting disconnected. So if we set up with the driver, let's make sure that this back arm is hanging just outside the thigh. And let's go from there and let's make sure that everything's moving connected. Maybe you swing slow for a few. Notice how the tee's not moving. That's going to ensure that you're not sliding and hitting down on the golf ball. But we're maintaining the setup with the arm behind us and swinging through it without any stall. Now we're set up for an iron. Now look at my back arm, right over that thigh. Now I'm set up to hit down on the golf ball. I still want to swing at a pace that I feel like everything stays connected and nothing is stalling out. Now we're at the chipping green. We're doing a straightforward chip shot. I got a 56-degree wedge because most of my viewers need to be using sand wedge instead of lob wedge. This is grainy Bermuda grass. If I get too much into the ground, it's just going to stick in there, okay? So I want to make sure that I have some principles here to make sure that I'm getting connected through the shot. Let's break it down with an acronym of NLC. What does N stand for? Well, with N, we want to be narrow. Let's get the feet very close together. L, let's go ahead and get nice and low. And C, make sure that the chest is going through the shot. Chest through so that the arms are moving the same as the chest. So N, narrow, L, low, and then C, chest. And you'll see my head come up as I go through the shot. And that's good because I started so low, it's pretty easy to come up. Go ahead and set up for the shot. Narrow, nice and low. And then make sure my chest is doing all the work, not my hands and arms and wrists. It's very good to notice that my hands are hidden club head still visible.